First of all, I just want to thank every single one of you guys for coming out here and supporting this walk. Like I said before, when someone takes their life, it doesn't just affect the family, it affects the whole community. And I want to share a little bit about how this walk came up. Growing up, my dream job was to be a firefighter, and I ended up having that opportunity to go out there and start working for our nation. But what I wasn't prepared for, giving CPR to people and they end up dying, it takes a lot out of you. And that's what ended up happening. I went next door to my house and my cousin committed suicide, and that really did something to me. So for one full year, I wanted to kill myself. I went through so much pain where I wanted to die. And I know there's a lot of people in my generation that are going through a struggle, especially for what we go through out here in our communities. And it's not just our community, it's every community across Turtle Island. And I just want to thank you guys for supporting this initiative that I started. And like I said, life is precious.
Mason, this is the longest you guys have ever had to walk.
No.
It isn't?
No. We walked from Pinoka before. That was the third year. We walked from there. And Wetaskiwin, I think Wetaskiwin, Pinoka is by... Tyson, what do you think is the longest? Pinoka and Wetaskiwin about the same distance, eh? Pinoka's longer. Pinoka. Yeah, so we walked from Pinoka and I think, what's that, 15 kilometers? 15 kilometers. That's way further than just... I think that was the longest that we went.
And this is the last time, you think?
This is the last one, I think. Well, I'm doing this is going to be my last walk.
So because of the village we got for like a safe haven, that's what we built it for a lot of people going through a struggle. Now they'll have somewhere to go when they're feeling down and out. Sadness, depression that everyone's fighting, now they could come. And what we incorporated is horses, so incorporating equine therapy. I'm so glad so many people support what we're doing. And there's so many people that reach out to me and said what we were doing helped them because they wanted to commit suicide. They said if it wasn't for you, I probably would have been dead. So it means a lot to me because of what I went through. Wanted to give up on life so many times, but life is short as it is. So we can't dwell on the little things in life. There's a lot of people that died that probably would do anything to be here another day.
Hi, my name is Tanya Rain and I'm from Samson Cree Nation. I am a mother of 6 children. I do now have 5. One 6 months ago has passed away. She committed suicide, jumping out of a 12-story building. It's been a long 6 months of grieving for us. This, for me and my family today, is a way of just processing the grievance and having some support, outside support for me and my family that came here today. I'd really like to express that the community really needs to support people that are grieving, that have lost their loved ones. Really step up to the plate and be part of that grieving for the family that really need them, because we need those people to help us heal ourselves, our families, our hearts. We need that so much in our community, and I feel like I have failed. Me and my family, we failed that support in our community. So I'd really like to reach out to the people and ask them for support and tell them, you know what, people are hurting. The hearts are hurting in our community and we really need help.
Our story actually started with our daughter Lindsay at the age of 22. She took her life. She suffered from depression. Tried to wonder, you know, what mental health, what causes these issues and why it's so prevalent right now. My wife and I, my wife Cindy, started Smiles Through Lindsay just 1 month after her passing in 2015, and it was a way of us to not only raise awareness for what our daughter was going through, but to help others that might be suffering, to help others financially through our endowment fund, through the Red Deer District Community Foundation. To date, we've raised, I shouldn't say we, I should say this community has raised over $350,000 for the endowment fund. And these are fundraisers that, people, they care about, not just, Lindsay as a person, and I always want to remind people, I don't believe in statistics, I believe in the human factor and carrying Lindsay's legacy forward. She was a person that loved helping people probably more than herself sometime, and that's the message, as a family we want to carry, that this soul still lives within us all.
My name is Kisikow, Pimoteo, also known as Patrick Buffalo. I'm from the Musqueam territory. And this is where we are today, is what we call Mustusame village. And Mustusame was our great-great-grandfather that lived in the 1800s. And this is more like a memorial place for healing. This is our wellness village, and I've been doing community wellness for about 30 years. And already we've had people from many different countries that have come here and really just to feel that land. Because Mother Earth is a healing energy, and we also use the horses in the equine therapy to bring healing. We are stuck oftentimes by the systems that are created that just don't serve our people. We have to eliminate those memories of trauma to be able to reclaim the joy that we lose in our life. And we want to get the word out there that we are here. And even just having an opening night here, just an open night for people to come sit by the fire and just be. You don't even have to talk, just be.
Hi, my name is Lindsay. I am a mother of two wonderful, beautiful twin daughters. They are 17 years old. We've gone through our trials and tribulations of raising them, of course. The biggest significant part in their life was when my father was living with us, and he was going through a very, very hard time mentally. He decided that he was going to end his life. I had heard him crying and talk when he was talking to his cousin in his native tongue, and so I didn't know what they were talking about. When 2 o'clock hit, I knew something was wrong, and I went down to check on him again, and she came back upstairs and she said, "Mom, he's not moving at all. He's just lying on the ground." And right then my heart dropped, and I knew that he had died. And I went downstairs and I saw him on the ground, and I touched him, and he was cold. And then I asked the girls, hysterically, to go outside or go to the neighbors, and I called 911.
Life is gauged by how we feel. So, sadness, grief, anger, hurt, okay? These are feelings, these are emotions that will identify that not. Because the problem is not the way you feel, the problem is the way you think. Ask the horse spirit just to bring healing to your life. All the hurt, all the anger that you've been feeling, it's time to let it go. And it's the horse spirit that's taking that heaviness away. Okay?
If you don't heal, you'll be really hurt for the rest of your life, and you'll get bad habits like I had when I was 8 years old. A year after I found my papa, I started picking myself.
And it's taken a very long time for my girls to heal. It still haunts them to this day, especially Anaya. She's had to undergo a bunch of therapy because of it. But I'm hoping that this will help. It's amazing what I've seen already with the healing process with my daughters, that they can actually let go of this pain and move on with their lives and be bright, cheerful, and happy, live happy, healthy lives. I was very too proud to admit that we needed help, or I needed help. I'm a strong, independent, single mom, and I didn't want them to see me weak. I felt that asking for help is a sign of weakness, and we need to remove that stigma.
December 2014, Lindsay came to me crying one night and said she suffered from depression, and she tried to kill herself 2 times previous. And as a father, that was the first time that I realized that she went through high school hiding this secret, and it was quite a shock. And so you get that shock as a parent, like your head spins and you go, what do we do? Who do we go to? And it's like you start looking through the phone book. You have no idea. You send her to somebody, and it's really, and I know other people go through this. I hear this story all the time. Where do we go? What help do we seek? And it's not that easy. And I know governments are even starting to look more into this. I know our provincial government has an associate minister for mental health and addictions, which is a great step. We need not only our governments to input money for help or facilities. We tend to spend money on the results of what's happening instead of curing what's happening.
I hope the province, with our new health minister and mental health, can bring the stigma of suicide to an end, and we can help these people as well as my daughters.
Yeah, I'm just really glad I came here today to find support, and I did. And I'm really, really appreciative of all the people that came to come support the people that are grieving, because that's what we need. And to see more of this in the community would be so beneficial for not only my family, but all the families that are grieving, that are going through such suffering.
I'm Dawn from Suicide Information and Education Services of Red Deer in Central Alberta. And so a very long name, and we understand that, but we do service not just Red Deer, but all of Central Alberta. And that means that we provide education and information to different groups, as well as offer outreach services, which does mean that you do have to come to our office in Red Deer. But the outreach services are something that we offer. They are free, not meant to be long-term or to replace counseling, but they're an opportunity for people who maybe are not knowing where to go, not knowing what to do with some of the feelings they're having. Maybe not to the degree of having suicidal thoughts, but are concerned with maybe some of the darker thoughts that they're experiencing, or maybe they've had an experience that somebody they know has attempted suicide, or somebody they know is talking about suicide, or maybe they know somebody who has died by suicide. All of those components would be appropriate to access our outreach services if they're needing someone just to talk to, just to bounce questions off of, just to get a listening ear, some non-judgmental support to allow them to have that space to share their thoughts and feelings, which can sometimes be very confusing for people. And so often we say, you're not alone, and we really mean it. We really do mean it. That's a free service for Central Albertans. We do ask that you call in advance to make an appointment. We're a very small staff in our office, and again, because we service all of Central Alberta, we might be out doing education in a classroom or speaking to a community group. And so if you give us a call, we would appreciate that in advance. And what we'll do is make an appointment with you, make sure that it's convenient for you, and have you come in. We'll ask you a few initial questions, obviously your name and where you're from and those types of things, and then look at what it is you want to talk about. That might mean a referral to another organization depending on the content of your needs and your situation, but absolutely we're here with a listening ear and a non-judgmental attitude, and we certainly welcome people to give us a call. If we don't offer what you are needing, then we're not just going to say, I'm sorry, that's not our service. We're going to find who will offer that for you and support you in the best way possible.
Kawagutama means we have to be connected to everything, all animals, all plants, Mother Earth, the sun, the wind. We are all connected. We are not superior over nature. As a matter of fact, nature is the true government. Natural law is the true government of our peoples. And for us to rediscover the laws is the solution to all our problems. The laws are written in our heart.
We spend billions on the after effects of the mental health issue, whether it be a drug addiction, suicides, you know, all those homelessness. I'm not sure why we never look at the front side, load the front side of that, so we don't have these billion-dollar bills coming up. It's no fault of the people that are suffering, and we just have to battle the stigma. I try to do that every day. The word community is so important, and I've been fortunate. I was born in Red Deer. I've lived here all my life, and I've seen the power of people, the volunteers, how strong a community can get behind something, and you know that's something we try to do through Smiles. It's really recognized by a lot of people in this community. The community truly can be the voice to the politicians. They'll listen on force when people say enough is enough, and enough is enough right now. And I think we are gathering. It's like a snowball gathering momentum and size, and I feel that in Red Deer there is enough. We're building on this, and we've you know, the Child Advocacy Center that's even coming to Red Deer, that was because of Lindsay. It was you know, at her funeral where business people said we got to do something for our youth, and then the coalition group formed, and we went to the Sheldon Kennedy Center, and you know, that's one of Lindsay's legacies too, is that this facility will be helping hundreds of children that are abused and have mental health issues, and so that is the action of, you know, starting for business people, and that is the action of businesses also saying enough's enough and supporting it financially and any way they can, volunteering, and you know, that's when a city comes together. That's when large numbers make a difference.
I'm in that position where I can make change for my community, because it takes one person to start a ripple effect to hundreds of other people, because I've seen the sadness of so many people walking around my community, especially my generation, where they didn't know who to turn to. I took it upon myself while I was living out in Toronto to organize this walk, to bring this reality of suicide, bring it out of the darkness, bring it into the light so we could face it head on.
My name is Haiti Panamino, and I am the director of Walking in Spirit, which is a part of the Breaking Stigmas segments. This particular segment talked about our communities and how they are affected by suicide. I am standing in front of the heart of Red Deer, Alberta. The first time I walked around these buildings, I thought they were open because youth were walking around and they appeared to be having a good time. And I thought, this is wonderful. They have youth services available, and I'm sure they offer cookies. And when I asked the kids what they were doing in there, they said they were breaking things and stealing copper and not being very productive. And I asked them if that's something that they would like to see repurposed, maybe have some services available to them and some support, so that they could feel comfortable as they're graduating and going out into the world. And many of them shared that it would be amazing to have that type of support coming from our province. So we are asking that the ministers of health take a look at these properties and find ways in which we as a community and business sector and other services can come here and create a sustainable environment for the future of our communities. We are currently undertaking a comprehensive, collective, multi-sector community plan and feasibility study for this property. We need our current ministers of health, social services, senior housing, and community, including the business sectors, to consider our vision and provide a ministerial order to have the government take the time to investigate the potential and repurposing of this property. Our motion will make a real investment in the lives of many Albertans for the future of all our communities. Please take the time to visit breakingstigmas.net and share your voice as to what you feel would benefit our community through the use of this property. It is our responsibility as community members and Albertans to share this vision and to put forth our strengths and talents so that we can make this vision a reality.